Hey, welcome back to Capture and Connect podcast. I am Adrienne Selfe. I am the owner of Serenity Lux Studio, a content creator studio that's located here in Huntsville, Alabama. And to my right, I have Kenya
Halliburton, online business choreographer and founder of Content Collabs, which is a community for introverted, creative, neurospicy, and partly women entrepreneurs where they can come together and create content to grow their businesses together. And we have
April Briggs. I am a neurospicy creative and also a creative director and pose coach. I go by the name of Earthy Auntie, and I'm a Huntsvillian, and I work directly with Serenity Lux Studio.
Yeah.
and we have the multi-talented serial entrepreneur, J'Que Ellis in the building.
Hey, what up, Pete? How y'all doing?
We're doing wonderful.
Supercalifragilistic. Awesome. I love the word.
Okie dokie. We thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for the invite.
Thank you. So I have, before we started off, she's multi-talented,
Yes,
serial entrepreneur. I want to know, what was your first business?
Oh, my first business was being a mom.
Okay.
In real time. I was a single mom, and I am a very logistically driven person at the womb, in the womb. That's just how my brain functions. I learned that early and began to use it towards my advantage. And so when I found out I was going to be a mom and a single mom, I was like, okay, I need a schedule. I got to have mileage. I got to figure out this because my life still had to work. Right? I was just adding a kid to it. And so, yeah, I think mom was my first real business that taught me about being accountable to my business.
Oh, friends.
I learned my biggest accountability piece in mom business.
That's good.
In real time. Yeah. My first LLC licensed business, like in a business with a license, and I had to pay taxes on it. And then when I that was my business, was exotic entertainment.
Okay.
Okay, we want to know.
I'm sorry. What is the quick? Like you don't know like what it is. You sing, yeah, Melon. You take the flag clean off the plate. You be like, okay, play all right, right? Right, Jackie. Let's get into you.
Okay. I was a stripper. Exotic entertainment, as in literally a high class stripper. I started my very first stint in Vegas. I was a cage girl at Pure. If many of you don't know about that, look it up. And I moved my way over to the East Coast and several other places in between. And then I ended up being a Magic City girl for about 7 years, which is where my stardom in entertainment, and I had to have a business license in order to do it, right? Yeah. So that was my first business. As an exotic entertainer. And when I got in it, I knew immediately it was not something I was planning to do for a lifetime. I mean, I commend the people who could, but I knew it was going to be a stepping stone for me. And everything I learned about community of entrepreneurship, I learned as a stripper in the exotic entertainment world.
Yeah.
Every aspect of entrepreneurial community that I learned about how to have it, how to use it, how to manage it, what it was good for, what it was bad for, how it could lead you down this, lead you down that. But I also understood that I could not ever be an entrepreneur without community.
Yeah.
Right? I could never make it as an entrepreneur without community. And so exotic entertainment was the foundation of me being a businesswoman and an entrepreneur. And that came out of need. I didn't want to grow up and be like, oh, honey, I want to go be a stripper.
Yeah.
I was a single mom. And I was handling mom business. And because mom business said you had to have this stream of income and that stream of income, the second stream of income had to be something that was very flexible because I was a single mom. And that's where stripping came in, because it was flexible and I could make as much money as I wanted or as little money as I wanted based on whatever time I had to give to it.
Do you often share that as part of your story, part of your journey or whatever. 'Cause I know we were like laughing, kind of having fun with it at first, but I feel like that's it's unconventional, but also it's a very important part of your start. So, but you don't have any like shame or anything about it, right? Because
I hear when people say unconventional, but it's really not. There's nothing unconventional about two streams of income,
right.
wanting flexibility and wanting to direct and stir your own bag. Where people tend to say the unconventional part is because, quote unquote, it's not in the check mark of boxes that we say are conventional, right? They say that exotic entertainment, stripping, those are not conventional, but they are because they are still surviving. They've been around for
age-old profession.
It's an age-old profession, right? And it has evolved over time. And it's still here right now to this day. Somebody's driving themselves over to a strip club.
And it's very lucrative. It's a lot of different things under that roof. A lot of people look at it one way, but we should never despise any humble beginnings. And the Bible says you overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the words of your testimony.
Absolutely.
So by you saying that to someone, wherever they are starting, however they are starting, they are taking that thing as serious enough to handle it as a business.
Yeah. I say that too. I mean, and in answer to your question, I do share my story. I do not post it on billboards.
Yeah.
But I'm not a billboard type person in that way. What I'm a billboard for is positivity.
Yeah.
Now, with my clients and those people that I coach, that I need to share my testimony with for them to connect to me being empathetic or being able to trust that I understand what they're going through.
Yeah.
Yes, but I don't hide it. There was a time in my life, though, I was ashamed to tell people, but God dealt with me on that. And when he dealt with me and I was convicted from what he said, I don't care anymore.
Right.
And so when I began to not care, then I began to understand how my story moved other people, how my story was the platform to heal and help heal other people, including myself.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember the first time I told somebody outside of my parents and the people who already knew. I mean, they knew when it was happening. Me and my mom were best friends. And, but like sharing it as a part of my journey, I was like, okay, I'm about to say something that none of the world knows about me. And
I'm not stripping. It's rather easy, and I know a lot of people think that stripping is easy, but no, you have to be in shape. You have to know how to talk to people. You know how to network. Start away. You network. So I know that stripping and business go hand in hand.
Hand in hand, especially the good ones. The good strippers, they understand business. And so back in my day, and we're talking 2000s, 1997s, those are the years. You had to have your SHIT together. And I'm not talking about just your look. Right. You had to understand business. Because if you didn't, you would make money and have no money.
Yeah.
You would not make money and don't understand why you're not making money. You had to understand the business of how to get the dollars out the dude.
Later, that birthplace for hustle.
It is,
birthplace for hustle, and I've seen you hustle in so many ways. You don't knock a hustle, but you don't let the hustle run you.
I don't let it run me. And I learned that watching those girls in the strip club that I wanted to be like. And don't get me wrong, there are all kinds of personalities in the strip club. The strip club is like the corporate office in real life. Well, I was a nurse at the time when I was doing the strip club kind of at the same time. And so, working for somebody and working for myself at the same time is something I've always done as a single parent because I always had to have two streams of income because I'm not about to be. Yeah. Anyway, right. It was like, okay, so now all the things that I learned on my nursing job where someone was directing me on what to do, I'll take some of those same things and put into place on my own business. That would help me be accountable, keep my books right, understand how I was making my money, budget myself right because I'm working this many hours. I should be getting this much dollars. But there were also women in the club that had no concept of that.
Yeah.
They were not exposed to that. This kind of hustle life was all that they knew. Not even if it was just stripping, but the style of hustle was all that they knew, right? And I needed to learn that too.
Yeah.
Because all I knew was the book side. And in entrepreneurship, baby, you got to have a little street hustle in you too.
You know.
Per your industry, you need to know how to get down, knock some boots, and get down dirty with it. In order to be an entrepreneur, you got to do every aspect of it. Every aspect of it.
I think something you said in all of that is really important, right? Because a lot of times we have new entrepreneurs getting started, and we maybe are working our day job or what have you, and all we want to do is like get out and do our thing, right? And I love what you said about like transferring the transferable resources or the transferable skills from like looking at where you are, like appreciating where you are and figuring out what you can like
take from it
out of it and place in, so you can be successful in the other arena. You're working in a situation that may not be for yourself, but there's value there.
Yeah.
So I love that you pull that out.
I coach entrepreneurs all the time, and that is one of the main things I tell them. I'm always bringing to the limelight that if you quit one thing, what makes you think you're going to be able to do the other thing immediately? Like in real time, logistically think about that. If you got 5 things in one basket and you got 5 things in the other basket, you got 10 things. But if you quit one thing, then all you got is 5 things left, but you created a life for 10 things.
Yeah.
That just doesn't even logically make sense. Like, you can't put your shoe on backwards.
You can, will it be real uncomfortable?
You can't put your shoe on backwards and function in life.
Exactly.
Not equivalent to having the right shoes on going down the right path.
Absolutely.
Right? So I'm always coaching to them to think about it in real time, in real life. And you may not always have it together. Shoot, I'm 33 years in, and I still don't have it all the way together because I'm always discovering something new, right? Something new. I love new things, even if they're challenges.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, what can I do and how can I overcome this now? But I'm always also giving my clients that same energy. I want you to understand that the reason something new or something challenging or something is coming your way, you cannot just immediately stop what you're doing and go to this.
Yeah.
There's no way in life that you can do that.
Yeah. I want to talk about the community collaboration energy that you bring to what you do.
Okay.
And I want to talk about it from the standpoint of I've known you for a bit.
Yes,
like you have seen me when I was like, fading into the bushes.
And you have seen me fade into the bushes as well.
And so I just remember, just from knowing you and watching you, you are huge with, like you even talked about in your intro, huge about community and collaboration. And you are, to me, one of the standouts in my mind when I think about collaboration and community work. Because I know, like, I have a heart for community. I've always had a heart for community. But I've struggled at times, throughout my healing journey. I didn't know how to manage my boundaries and that kind of thing. So I think community, I guess maybe, and I don't know where my question is here, but when you are someone with a heart for community and collaboration, I guess maybe talk about the importance of managing yourself within that construct. Because a lot of times you can, and I fell victim to this, where you find yourself where you're giving yourself away to everyone. Because case in point, and I'll share this with you.
Yeah.
I remember I launched Gold Girl, which is a personal development community that's still in the back. She's coming back at some point. But I remember we were on a call and we were all kind of talking, and I remember the ladies, including yourself, were just like giving me flowers, and I'm gonna try not to cry. but you all were giving me flowers and you were like, oh my God, Kenya, I appreciate you, like that kind of thing. And I remember struggling to hold back tears because I could not hold the compliments or the flowers that you all were giving me because I felt a deficit, right? Like I was like, why can't I hold this? Like, why can't I receive this? And it was because I was learning at the time, at the beginning of my journey, learn how to balance, find the balance of giving my resources and away to making sure that it was making sense, not just monetarily, but energetically. So talk about like how you've learned or, how you even navigate like collaboration and community and making sure you keep yourself safe and well.
That is a great question because navigating collaboration and community is so important. For me, I had to learn my boundaries.
Okay.
And I didn't learn my boundaries until 41 years old. So I was giving myself out for 25 years before that, 25 years. And it was when God sat me down with cancer and forced me, like I had no choice here. I was too weak to keep going. I was too weak to show up at April's thing. I was too weak to go over here. I didn't have any money left because as an entrepreneur, you don't have a whole lot of money. And when you get cancer, they don't care if you got if you don't have insurance, then you figure out a way to pay for it, right? Well, thank God I had the money. I had saved up. But anyway, surviving cancer. So I didn't have the money to buy a ticket from everybody, even if I wasn't going to show up. I didn't have the money to give $1,000 to this girl who needed it. I didn't have anything else left to give. And God sat me down and said, well, the reason why you don't is because I made you empty so you would have nothing to give.
Oh, know that place.
It was like, and every time I thought I would get something, I would immediately give it out. And then literally God said, okay, well, you know what? You're giving everything I'm giving that is meant for you. You know what? You're on restriction. God would do a time. And when I say no, he had me on restriction because I couldn't even go out and do it for himself. When God used to make when he made me, he literally made me sit down, even my own self. I couldn't even go out there and start a trucking company and make the money for a quick second. Because starting something and make some money quick was my look. I had mastered that. Well, man, I had mastered that, baby. Okay, so I couldn't even do that. That is when God showed me how collaboration and community, because that's what healed me from with myself, of giving everything to myself. Because when I thought people were only around me because of that, because I was giving, then I recognized it was my own intentions of giving it because I wanted them to be to like me, to in turn get to me. And so it had become a cycle then. And God shut me down so I would have nothing else to give so that I would understand the boundaries of community and collaboration.
That's good.
And so from that, I treated it like a business. I knew I'm very good at business. And so I began to treat it like a business. Every year I would decide, what hobbies or things that resonated with the same things I was passionate about. And I would divvy out my time based on the boundaries I had set on myself and the accountability piece of holding myself to it. Because I knew that if I messed up, I might get in timeout again. And so I don't want to say, it's not in that way, God. I got you, God. Thank you for it. I burned this one. Right.
And I've seen you collaborate very responsibly. And it adds no sorrow to you whenever you collaborate with you, because it's always good for you.
Everybody involved, right?
Everybody eats, everybody wins, everybody gets recognized, shared, liked, reposted. I love that about you. I can always count on you. We were having a conversation in Florida. And I was in, okay, let me share that. But I bet everybody shares. She was like, No, everybody don't share it. You just think that because you always share it, and everybody don't share my stuff. And then most of the time, people don't share my stuff. And seeing you, like, yes, the way you show up for other people, it was very surprising to hear that. But I will always remember it because I just assume that.
Yeah.
When we commit a suicide, it keeps us from being in community and collaborating with people because we tend to think that somebody's already shared it. Somebody else will like it. Well, I don't have
She don't need my support.
She got to buy a ticket. She probably has a lot of people coming. I don't have to show up.
Yeah.
But seeing you've shown up so many times for so many people, including me. So it's my pleasure to show up for you.
I think it's really cool that you share that and everybody knows, and everybody on this platform right now definitely understands that we make assumptions out of a lot of things when it's probably not even necessary, right? So we do assume because how we see someone else that everybody else sees them like that. So we assume that, oh my God, April's so amazing. I'm sure everyone's sharing her stuff.
Yeah.
And it's not even a fact that we don't, it's literally like, because in my brain, oh my God, this is so good. No, everybody's got to be sharing this. But in real life, we don't know. And we can't make an assumption based on other people at all. The only thoughts or the only actions that we can control are those of ours.
Yep.
Which is why I am very intentional about my collaboration and my community. I want you to know that I'm sharing intentionally.
Yeah.
I am not sharing because I want something in return. Because 20 years ago, I would have been mad if I would have had to ask people to share something. Girl, this shares your stuff. I want to leave a timeline in my 200,000 billion. If you go to my own cancer, if you found like it your stuff.
Yeah.
Now, April's on a schedule. And it's not because I want to remember. It's because I'm intentional. I want to share. I want to know what's going on her. And I use social media in that way because it is a form of connection for me to stay connected intentionally.
Yeah.
Forefront of my mind, like commercials. I make my own commercials with the people I want in my circle. I keep them in the forefront of my mind by keeping them on my schedule intentionally.
I love that. And I think it sounds like, and I know this to be true, that it also contributes to your success.
Oh, yeah.
It's like what you all were talking about in terms of like planting and reaping and sowing, like that, you know, when you give,
You get a harvest.
like, you know, like, you know that when you plant the seed, you know it's going to work.
Go grow.
So you ain't got to keep checking on it and checking it on. As long as you're giving it what it needs, it's going to
grow.
It's going to germinate, right? And so I love that you have that perspective because it's a healthy perspective to have.
Yeah, sometimes y'all get on my nerves, and I will send y'all a little message. Can you share this for me? Can you come over here and put some likes or something on it? And I'm not doing it because I'm mad. I'm doing it because, you know what? You get forget.
You have we don't see it.
We don't exactly. That's my point. I don't make any assumptions or expect. When I read something, God has told me and shown me that all I got to do is ask. And with humans, if I'm willing to accept whatever they give me in return, whether it's nothing or whether it's something, I'm already a winner. So, I'm scared to ask.
We should normalize that, asking each other to share. Like, if I love that about you, you'll be like, hey, can you share this for me?
I sure
and a
will.
lot of times when you say it, that's the first time, like Adrienne said,
See, this algorithms work. I can't expect just because you're my friend, you see everything I got going on. Shoot, I got a lot going on. I have to go back and look at my old timeline. I never remember, oh God, I got to.
So Huntsville is fast growing.
I love that.
And it's becoming a powerhouse for entrepreneurs. What do you think makes this city a special place to build and grow?
Well, because it's a hub of diversity and it continues to forefront and fourfold and turn over diverse. Especially for Alabama. You know, we are not, when people think of Alabama, they don't say Huntsville.
Yeah.
When we say Huntsville, they say, oh, you mean close to Nashville. Oh, Huntsville is not the typical standardized, mentally thought of type of city for the state of Alabama. And so it is growing into a hub of entrepreneurs because of the diversity that not just entrepreneurs, but the technology, the music, the entertainment, all of it is beginning to grow here. I mean, ergonomically, all over the place.
Yeah.
And I love that about her.
Yes.
Love that.
What about your wine and what's the name of your
Healthy living and
living and wine? Tell us about that because I love wine and talking. Really good.
Girl, healthy living and wine is it's my entertainment baby. You know what I'm saying? It's really, to be honest with you, it's my community baby.
Yeah.
It is a way for me to stay connected and talk to people and drink wine.
It serves multiple.
Yes.
Yes. With your series that you have,
The Sip and Flow.
Sip and flow.
I really, really enjoyed it. It was just, how can I put it? It was intentional.
Mm-hmm.
It was a vibe.
Mm-hmm.
It was community.
It was shouting.
Yeah. And I'm like, the one tripped me.
Yeah.
What was Chandler's
Queen.
Hey.
I thought that was beginner friendly. Never what is my important? You gonna pick us our butt? We'll be drinking.
Oh, yeah.
That's the whole purpose.
A really
Good job.
It's a really, really good time.
It is.
I'm glad you started the series.
Yeah.
It's very. I enjoyed myself.
I'm
really
glad you did.
myself.
I thought you did when I looked over there and I was like,
And it's giving us an opportunity to meet different yogis and Pilates instructors in this community that I had no clue existed. Like another community thing.
that was the main thing. So with the Sip and Flow series, it is a part of the Healthy Living Wine. It is a project that I do annually at the beginning of the year, because that is the time people make all these wellness things and all these resolutions. And so being in the fitness industry, that was my biggest money-making time of the year. So, strategically, I'm always going to have something at the beginning of the year because people want to pour into themselves.
Yeah.
That's the heaviest time of self-investment is at the beginning of the year. So this was my 4th year doing Sip and Flow, but in this manner because I didn't have my own gym. I retired, closed down my own gym, all the gym businesses. And I was like, but I still got to do Sip and Flow. So this year was super collaborative for me because God said, well, why don't you just feature people that you trust and you can connect people to outside of their mental thought of what wellness would be. And I was like, that means I don't have to do any work. So that's what I did. I wanted to do Pilates and yoga this year and like a fusion. And that came from my own fitness journey. It would have been 25 years ago that I started Pilates and yoga fusion. When I used to teach a class. And so because I wasn't going to teach this year, I wanted to keep the same 25-year anniversary type thing. So that's what I did. I vetted instructors that had that particular, field of expertise in our community that I trusted, that I had been to a class with before. I had been a participant in their class. I trusted their work and I knew they knew what the hell they were doing, first and foremost, right?
They do.
And then I picked each one based on the different personality that I wanted them to present based on the different flow classes that I wanted to have. And I wanted each one of them to have a different style so that you could resonate with someone. You could connect and have a visual example of someone that was like, you know what? I could do this. Oh, maybe I don't like this one. And every single instructor was different for every class, which gave everyone an opportunity to try different things. And I made it affordable. And when you add wine to anything,
it makes it more fun.
How do you balance it all?
I don't balance it. Put it together. I do not balance it all.
I'm going on. How are you able to keep going?
Okay.
How are you able to stay positive when things don't work out for you? How is that for you?
Well, I believe in balance. I don't practice balance. I believe in balance, but I practice my habit. My action for balance is alignment.
Okay.
And that's because I feel like my life is a puzzle and not a scale. And so I fit the pieces together as God gives them to me. I don't have it all together all the time. Literally a few weeks ago, I was not all together. I was isolating myself and crying, trying to get over some emotional crap that happened to me like 7 years ago, and it hit me again. And I was like, oh my God, I need ice cream and pizza.
I get it.
No, this is real. You're real. But I can say that because I have created a life of accountability on purpose, community, consistency, God keeps me aligned. When I get checked out, it's my community that reminds me to keep God first, my church community. When I feel like I am alone, it's my community of sisters and those people that I'm liking every day. God sends them in a way it's like, oh my God, how did she know? I never told anybody. I know it was God, and I know he used my sister April as the vessel because I couldn't see him in that moment. I was so weak. I couldn't get to him. So he sent a vessel that I trusted. You understand? To bring me back. Because I didn't do it on my own.
Right.
I don't do anything on my own. I know I am out here, and it looks like a lot of times I'm doing a lot of things by myself, but nothing I do is alone. Nothing I have done or can. It's only by God. Only by God. And every morning I'm face forward on the floor, butt naked. I have a naked ritual where when I wake up and God blesses me to wake up every day, I hit that floor, butt naked, and I surrender whatever's going to happen to him. And then I try to focus on just trusting it. Keyword, try to focus on.
It's easy to lose focus in this world.
It is.
So one of your healthy living and wine things that I love is sipping root.
Okay, me too.
And I remember the last sipping root, just seeing you not wanting to do it and seeing somebody that's 30 years in with entrepreneurship successes and lessons and all the things that you've been able to do. What was refreshing to me was to see someone that is at your stage of business ownership and entrepreneurship have to fight through to show up for yourself because new businesses people think when you're just starting something, it's so hard to show up for yourself, but seeing somebody 30 years in,
That's motivation. Listen, I'm only one year, and it's like, you know what, JQ, she talking this talk, and it is motivation.
It is. If I don't know anything about life, the last 33 years of entrepreneurship, it's that I have been my most successful. It's highs and lows because that's life. God never promised us to be great all the time. Or once you reach one thing, the rest of the life was a breeze. The times when I have been most successful, and my most successful times were not my highest dollar amount. Let me say that.
Okay. You better preach.
I had to disassociate myself, valuing my dollar on how much I had with how much I'm worth. Had to disassociate. Stripping, really, that was a struggle I had to. That's one of the ways, that was the hardest thing for me to break away from stripping, was putting my value on how much money I was making at that club.
Equity comes in a lot of ways.
Baby. And so one of my highest successes, when I'm having my highest success in life, y'all, it's when I'm most in love with myself. It's when I am most in love with myself. I mean, I have done some incredible things when I was really in love with myself. I have helped women, overcome domestic violence.
Yes, Lord.
I have, been a person that I fed a group of people on the street one time. The most successful times in my life were when I was truly in love with myself.
That's so beautiful.
Self-love is the beginning of it all.
Yeah.
But the Bible says love your neighbor as you love yourself. A lot of people stop it at there, just love your neighbor. It says as you love yourself. Because if you can't love yourself, you definitely can't love your next person.
And I feel like, and maybe you can relate to this as well. Like I know from my experience, I've learned so much about myself through the process of my business. I thought that I would be, I want to launch this and I want to do this. And you get all into it. And then something happens that has nothing to do with the business. It affects the business, but it's more on the personal side. And, like for me, there has been processes or moments where, I'll be like, girl, get it together. You got a business or people depend on you. You got to get to it. And it's like you said, like God's like, no, because you are healing and you are using this thing to avoid the thing that you're supposed to be dealing with. Personally, you're going to keep on trying to launch this thing, going to keep on trying to do, you have to sit down if you want it to be successful. Because what I'm learning is if you don't have the equipment, the peace, the healing, when you get the success, the money that you're aiming for, you're not going to be able to hold it.
No.
So it's a blessing. Like the stops, the pauses, the sit downs, the detours, it's a blessing for you to kind of revamp, to heal, to strengthen, so that you can hold the thing that God is trying to get to you. Right. So I love that you've kind of brought this up to our awareness, because I don't think a lot of entrepreneurs, when we're in the process, and maybe it's just because we see social media or we see the stuff out there and we think that is the epitome of arriving. But like you said, it really is in those, private wins.
Yes.
That are like the most valuable in the journey.
I oftentimes hear, people talk about all we see is this and all we see is that, we see the person at their successful moment and then we accuse them of saying nobody shares enough behind the scenes. I have always been contradictory of someone sharing their behind the scenes with everyone in the world.
Yes.
And the reason I say that is because there are aspects of your behind the scenes that aren't meant for anybody but you and God. Now I had to say it. There are aspects behind your success that are only meant for you and God, because even if we shared everything that we did to get where we were going, it's not meant for everybody. It's just meant for you
and God.
It's just for you. I mean, we say I'm minding our own business. But minding our own business also means to me that I have to tend to my business too. Not just mind it, not just keep my mind focused on my stuff, but I also got to practice my own business that I'm talking about I'm doing.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So for me, a lot of times, I don't have time to share the behind the scenes stuff because I'm doing it.
And then it's like, if you get too caught up in that, then it's how much is it more performative than you actually doing and getting benefits from the work.
Correct. So that's your own journey. I don't have a hey or a nay about it. If you want to share and you want to open up and tell everything about you and behind you, that is great, because that could be a part of your story. That may be what God is using you for. But it's probably not a part of my story. Yes. Now, if that is your ministry and that's the thing that God wants you to show to somebody, it's the reason why he wants you to show it to somebody, because he wants someone else to see their struggle in yours. God did not give me that plight. God gave me the plight to stay positive, to interject positive ionic energy.
Yes.
To share my testimony in my community,
safe spaces.
April, I wish I could say safe spaces, but I have shared my testimony in places that weren't so safe. Safety came from it, but I was not in safety. I created, and that's what my domestic violence that I do. I try to be the place where we create, where it is because it's not safe for those ladies. It was not safe for me. You understand what I'm saying? I had to go find a safe place. And so that's the reason why I say it's not always a safe place. It's not always going to be, in the place where it's going to be the most comfortable. Sometimes God wants you to get uncomfortable, or He wants you to be the comfort in the uncomfortable spaces. And a lot of times in my life, he has chosen me to be the comfort in the uncomfortable places.
I love it.
I resonate with that.
So what's next for you? What do you have going on? What? I mean,
You know, like my GD. I'm sorry. So me and Chat, we have a relationship, Mr. Chatty. And he has not taken the place of my therapist, but he's definitely helped me take down my therapist's bill. Because I love that he's very logistic like me. AI is like my brain inside my brain is like AI. So I really resonate with them. So one of my times when I was just, going through it, all this, that, and the other, and I was like, oh, Mr. Chatty, my life is over. And I was like, I'm going through this, that, and the other. And Mr. Chatty said back to me, get it together, JQ. Oh, I love it. Literally, it's such, I said, JQ's get it together. You are just over exaggerating. You are all in this and that and this. I just help you create this. And what is it? We help you create. We just launched this and developed that just 3 days ago. Get it together. I was like, okay, well, I'm getting back to the regularly scheduled program.
We'll get you together.
We'll get you together, right? But on the other hand, sometimes also it's weird how Mr. Chatty kind of knows when you need that get together or that, oh, it's okay. So let's just stop. Take a breath. Breathe in 4 times. Breathe out 4 times. I'm like, are you in here with me?
Yeah.
You understand?
And my chat sometimes says, Adrienne, I'm going to be real with you. Hold on. Mine starts that with a lot of things, but I have all these things going on. Okay.
So I meant to say that I've made an agreement with Mr. Chatty. So actually, there's nothing new happening for me in 2026.
Okay.
I am composting. I'm not doing anything new in 2026. I'm actually weeding out. And I'm committing to weeding out all the things. I mean, last night I was in a funk and I was watching a movie outside and I wanted some outside air and, had my fire going and I pulled up Mr. Chatty. I was like, this would be a great idea. We should do backyard movie nights. And he was like, so accountability. That is one of the places that really helps me in entrepreneurship, accountability. And that is it's one of the great foundational things I try to teach and show clients how to stay above the entrepreneurial flump and stomp and doing too much. You feel me? Sticking through the process, doing too much. And sticking through the process. And so I'm not doing anything new this year. What's up next for me? It's my birthday. It's 8.
When's your birthday?
May 31st.
Yes.
But I celebrate for 45 days. And this year, I'm celebrating for 51 days because I'm having a pre-celebration this year.
51 days is crazy.
Listen,
It's so great.
life is crazy.
Where can we find GQ in March and April here in this local Huntsville?
If you want to find me, I'd suggest that you sign up for the Sip and Flow series.
Okay.
You can also do Sip and Root. I got my girl, April. She's leading our conversation. She is actually our conversation moderator. And she has been for all of our Sip and Root. So I love collaborating with her because she's my community sister as well. We love building community. So that's happening in April. And then from April the 24th until June the 15th, I'm not doing anything on a schedule. I'm just going to be all the things. He's with my socials, which is JQUENOW. And of course, I'm going to be accepting cash apps and gifts and dinners for all 51 days.
We've got the message. We got the message.
A good interview.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. I really enjoyed
so much for just being a champion of collaboration and community.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
It is. You are a shining light on the hill for that. In our collaboration and what we're building, I know, I know I've been through hell and back when it comes to community collaboration.
Yeah.
But
I'm proud of you for sticking with it.
Me too. I was just
Because you could have given up. You could have said, enough is enough. And I was like, hey, sis, me too. I got my thumbs working. I was this cool. Okay, let me get my technique for you. And then she's angry, slid off.
Okay, great. Did she come to Serenity? Oh, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful what you said earlier off camera about having the right team. Like the right people.
Yeah.
And I love it. Like even if it falls apart at some point, it's all good. It all has information.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's not even like it's a bad thing. But I think, you have been at the precipice. Is that a word? I like these big words. I don't always know I use them right.
We're both saying that's the right word.
It's going to be the right word today.
It's right. Cool.
What's the beginning at the pinnacle? Is that the right word?
Yeah.
A lot of the things that I know I've been a part of and that I've seen other people start. And it really helps to just see somebody just constantly showing up at your stuff, especially when you're trying to nurture shame and you just I feel like I'm a failure, whatever. People looking at that eye like, what's wrong with you? Whatever. But like this venture that we are doing, we started Capture and Connect at the workshop, and you came and you participated and got what you need.
Showed it.
And now we're pivoting to just, because it's about like what's going to work best for us in our lives, and also what's going to help serve the community even better. And so this podcast is a piece of that. And we are so grateful that you took the time out of your day to be here with us.
Let me just tell you guys something as entrepreneur, as women. The first thing I want to leave you with is to be a good entrepreneur, you got to learn how to pivot. So get your pivot life together.
Yes.
That's real time. And pivoting means accepting change and moving forward.
Yeah.
Pivoting does not mean one thing. When you pivot, it takes two parts to pivot. It takes the front leg to go in, your body to turn around, and then to take another step. It's a two-part. It's an acceptance and a move. An acceptance and a move. So I'm super proud of you guys, because a lot of entrepreneurs, they stay stuck in that thing too long. And then it goes down emotionally, it goes down momentously, and there's nothing wrong with people.
Thank you.
On the behalf of the collective of the sisterhood and community, we thank you so much.
Thank you guys. I love y'all all and all, forever and forever. And community and collaboration, yes, I love y'all too.
Well, we love you down, like people say. Thank you guys for joining us for this Capture and Connect podcast, and stay tuned for what and who is next.